Hello everyone and welcome to Metro TV. I'm your host Andy Hoig, publisher and CEO of Metro Magazine. We have Allie Swanson, the new Miss Nebraska, on the show today. We also have folks from the Metro Area Youth Foundation, and also Pets in Omaha talks about their Pick-a-Pooch event coming up in July. So don't go away, we will be right back. Well, welcome back. I'm here with Brady Jorgensen, Teresa Valier, and Sue Kinney Wieland, all here from the Metro Area Youth Foundation, talking about the Summer Bash for Childhood Cancer, their upcoming event, but also just a lot of things going on right now. So, Sue, let's talk about the Metro Area Youth Foundation and exactly, you've got a 13th annual event coming up. So talk about just what the foundation is in general.
Okay, I'll be happy to. Metro Area Youth Foundation is a combination of the Optimist clubs from Omaha and Southwest Iowa. And what we do is so very important. We raise money for families of children who have cancer, and those families come from Children's Hospital and Medical Center and also from Nebraska Medical Center. So when a family has a child who's diagnosed with cancer, the world continues to go on, but those bills continue to go on too. Yeah. And what we do is we're able to pay some of those bills like mortgages, rent, utilities, phones, those types of bills. So the families then are able to spend their time where it's most important, taking care of their children, and we're able to just take a little bit of that pressure off the family and pay their bills.
All right. Well, we'll talk about the event in a little bit, but I want to talk to Teresa. You're Bradley's grandmother?
Yes.
Correct? All right. So can you tell me about the impact that cancer has had on your family and kind
of? Brady's had cancer for a long time. He's going to be 13 in July, and he's had cancer for 12 years.
Wow.
So it's impacted us from the beginning of his life practically. And we don't make the most money. We're probably an average family from around here.
Sure.
And when cancer came along, first my daughter had to make a decision whether to stay working or not. And she was actually encouraged not to, and to spend time with Brady because his diagnosis was very poor at the time. But I asked her to keep working. I said I would take care of him. And if we had any trouble, then, stop working. But she kept working. But, she wasn't making that much money, but she kept working. And the help from the community, if we didn't have the help from the community, I'm really not sure Brady would be alive, actually, because we got money to help with housing, with travel, with just daily things. That you just take for granted.
Yeah. Well, Brady, let me ask you a few questions. So what do you like to do in your spare time?
I like to ride my scooter. I like to go golfing at the driving range, putt-putt golfing, video games.
Kind of the typical, 12, 13-year-old.
Well, the most typical I can be.
Right, absolutely. What are some of your challenges? I mean, what do you kind of face that other kids may not?
Can't play contact sports like football, baseball, soccer, basketball, volleyball at that point, really.
Yeah.
But I'm getting good at golf, bowling, and bocce ball.
Okay. And so let's talk about the camp too. So yeah, let's talk about the camp. I love that. That was a great response.
It's fun.
And what do you do at the camp? Tell me about it.
We basically just let what we have in us out.
Yeah.
Make us feel alike.
Right.
And we get to do things that basically what other kids don't get to do. Like one of my events at the one I just at was zip lining. It was at least 100 feet long. Mm-hmm. It was fun.
And where's the camp at?
Boone, Iowa.
Okay, where's Boone, Iowa? Tell me where's
like north of Des Moines.
Okay.
North of Des Moines.
Okay, where's the next one you're going to go to though?
The next one I'm going to go to is in Gretna, Nebraska.
Okay.
That also has a zip line, and they do laser tag there. It's basically the same thing as the other camp that I was just at.
but this is an opportunity for you as a kid enjoying the childhood life to interact and do things with other kids without having to worry about some of the limitations that you have, that you can just have fun and be a kid.
Brady not only has cancer, he also is almost blind, which most people don't know.
Well, I wouldn't.
Left eye.
Okay, all right.
And most of his right eye. So
Yeah.
depth perception is very scary to him, and they've learned to adapt things at the camp.
Yeah.
So that and they don't push you into it. And he, from the first time, we were more worried about him going to camp the first time than he was. And he comes
Right.
back, and the first thing out of his mouth was, "I'm ready for next year."
That's
So
awesome.
was-
How is the camp? A week, 2 weeks? I mean, what's
It's
the
about 4 or 5 days.
okay, 4 or 5 days. Okay. So you get to escape into this other world for 4 or 5
The
days.
woods.
The
Yeah.
woods.
Next
No
year,
signal.
Is
Yeah.
it this year or next year you go to the bigger kids?
Oh, I've been in the bigger kids.
Oh, you're in the bigger kids one.
Okay. Well, let's go back. I'm going to backtrack to the event that's happening at the end of August, the Summer Bash for Childhood Cancer, and that raises funds for the camps and for all
For
kinds
both
of things.
camps and also for the bills that we paid during the year.
Okay.
It's being held August 24th at Embassy Suites in La Vista.
Okay.
And it will be a very fun event.
It's a super fun event.
Super fun event. Uh-huh.
Is there a theme? I mean, what's the is it
Midsummer
different?
Night's Dream
Okay.
is the theme this year.
Okay. And are people encouraged to dress up?
Business casual.
Okay, business casual.
Right. Right.
All right.
We're a pretty casual group of people.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess when I say dress up, do they like Midsummer's Night's Dream? Do they dress up like in a Shakespeare? Is it a? They don't have to dress.
They don't have to go that far. They're
Okay.
certainly welcome to if they would like to, but it's pretty casual. And there'll be a live and silent auction and
Yeah.
a program and a dinner.
Okay.
So it's really a very, very fun event with the theme, of course, is to raise money for both camps and also for us to pay the bills during the year.
Yeah. So how do people get tickets?
They can go to our website, which is Summer Bash for Kids. Let me check. Summer Bash for cc.org.
Okay, they can get tickets there. And
Right.
what are tickets? How much are tickets?
They're $100 a piece.
Okay.
Or you can buy a
table?
too also.
Okay. And then people, if you can't attend the event, you can also make a donation
Absolutely.
as well.
Again, just going to our website.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Brady, any last, inspiring words? What are your hopes? What do you aspire to be in the future?
Still trying to figure that out, honestly.
Yeah.
I've
Okay.
got a little while to go.
You do. What are you passionate about in the last minute?
Money.
Math and money. I see a financial advisor.
Oh, boy.
Maybe a future Warren Buffett.
You
in
think?
the,
Fine.
You never know.
You never know. So, well, I appreciate all three of you coming on the show. Brady, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, you're welcome. And again, this is a great event. This is the 13th year.
13th year.
13th
And he's
year.
going to be 13 for it.
Oh my
There you
gosh.
go.
It
There
worked
you
out
go.
perfectly.
There's some synergy around that.
That's
so.
right. That's
All right.
right.
Well, thank you once again for coming on the show, and we will be right back. Well, welcome back. I'm here with Allie Swanson. She is the new Miss Nebraska 2019.
Yay.
Allie, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
So, okay, so when was the big night? Not too long ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Okay,
June
I was going to
8th.
say.
So it's fresh. It's fresh and new.
You're very, yeah. So tell me, okay, before I get into the questions, tell me just a little bit about you, where you're from and all that good stuff.
So born and raised right here in Omaha.
Okay.
I was a graduate of Millard North High School in 2013. So I was the oldest contestant going for Miss Nebraska this year. So I kind of felt like a mama bear to a lot of the
Right,
other girls.
right.
I'm a graduate of Evangel University, which is in Springfield, Missouri. I played basketball there for 4 years. I was a
Okay.
2-time All-American athlete and a Scholar All-American. And then I moved back here to Omaha after I graduated, and now I'm a graduate student at Bellevue University studying organizational leadership and executive coaching. And I
Okay.
know that's a mouthful, but
It is. But like, so I'm gonna just, when you were growing up, like what were things that you loved to do when you were growing up?
definitely music. So I come from an extremely musical family. I actually play 7 instruments.
Are
And
you
so-
serious?
I'm not kidding.
What
you.
are they?
Electric guitar, acoustic guitar, piano, upright bass because I played in orchestra. Then I taught myself electric bass. Then I played trumpet in band and marching band. And then I sang. And I play a lot of like smaller instruments, but I kind of count all of that in one, so 7.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's amazing. I always love to look at a person's life, like when they were a child, and kind of what they love to do. I
Yeah.
look at that on my own, within my own self, and kind of see where your life takes you and
Yeah.
how sometimes those things from childhood kind of start to blend in to your life.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I always love to ask those questions.
Well, I love answering those
Yeah,
questions. That's one of
yeah.
the best things about competing for Miss Nebraska for me
Yeah.
is getting to do talent. And the fact that this year it's the biggest percentage of your score was huge for me because I love performing. I love singing. I was
What
in
did you
show
do?
choir.
I'm sorry.
So, no, it's okay. I did a vocal and I actually sang a Whitney Houston song against
Okay.
the advice of a lot of people. I was like, no, this is like my bread and butter. It's what I grew up on. I love
Which
singing
one?
gospel music and soul music. I sang, I'm singing I Have Nothing for Miss America, but I sang Run to You for
Okay.
Miss Nebraska.
Yeah.
And it was just perfect. I was totally authentic in everything that I sang.
Yeah, and what an experience. I
Yeah.
mean, so the competition took place, was it Grand Island?
North Platte.
North Platte, okay, North Platte. So, and how many young women were a part of the competition?
So it was 13 this year, which
Okay.
is a little bit lower number than in past years, but we have a big wave of candidates coming in at the local level. So we anticipate a bigger boom for Miss Nebraska next year, which is really exciting. That means more scholarships for the girls,
Yeah.
better sponsors and everything. So 13 was the number that I competed against in North Platte, but we had a packed house for the 2 nights of preliminaries and the final night, and it was just such a
Yeah.
rush. It was a great experience.
So why did you decide to do this? I mean, what inspired you
Yeah,
to do this?
so I was an athlete my whole life. Like I said, I played basketball and I've never been into pageants. I always make the joke after college I had to use a makeup lesson to even turn this into what you see today. And so basically, my sister asked me, if you don't do it, are you going to regret it? And I said yes, and that was my initial jump into, my first local was the Miss Omaha pageant, which I was fortunate to win on the first time, and I placed top 5 at Miss Nebraska last year, which was my first time doing anything.
Right.
But a lot of people, or some people know this in the pageant world and other people don't, but my sister was actually Miss Nebraska 2014. So we're
Okay.
the first 2 sisters ever to both hold the Miss Nebraska title.
Who's your sister?
Megan Swanson.
Okay.
So she was Miss Nebraska, 2014. So we'll both be going to Miss America, and
Wow.
it's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so what does it mean to you to be Miss Nebraska?
It is such an honor, honestly. So my platform is Cyber Smarts, protecting yourself in the digital world.
Yeah.
And one of my main partners, I actually believe you've interviewed on this show before.
Amy?
Yes, Amy
Smart girl?
Love
Yeah,
her,
yeah,
right?
yeah, okay.
So I've worked there for a year and a half, and
Yeah.
so I am going to thoroughly enjoy spreading that message across
Yeah.
the state of Nebraska, just under a new umbrella and a new level of authority with this shiny
And for
hat.
people that don't know what that message is, talk to me about the message.
Yeah, so social media and digital media safety. Obviously, we live in a digital age,
Yeah.
and parents are kind of freaking out. Kids are in a whole new world that's new to a lot of people. And those privacy and safety concerns on those specific social media apps are so important to talk about because there's a lot of issues going on with this next generation, even younger than me, because I'm a young millennial. And even some of the girls that I was
Yeah.
competing against are technically a different generation than me, which is kind of weird to think about.
It is.
But we're in a whole new time of digital technology, and talking about that safety aspect of it is so important.
Because you're literally, I mean, when I was younger, there was none of that. And I'm actually really happy that there was none of that because I was a very adventurous young teenager, and that you're able to communicate with people not just down the street, but around the city, around the country, around the world. And there's some people out there that are not nice.
Yeah, and I would say too, what I've seen from the research that Smart Gen Society has done, which is now the new name of Smart Girl Society.
Okay, all right, awesome.
But SGS has done, and a couple other national leaders, we've seen that technology really has had an impact on that interpersonal communication of this next generation. And although it can add, dexterous movement and like different parts of the brain are forming now that they didn't before. So there's pros and cons of technology. Obviously, it aids for communication, but that loss of interpersonal communication skills is scary for older generations. Like you need that for a job interview to function in society. And so it's where do we come in to present that balance? And that's kind of where my platform comes in.
All right, that's awesome. So talk about the scholarships you won and how important is the scholarship program, because that's a really big piece of this as well.
Absolutely. So the Miss America organization is actually the largest giver of women's scholarships in the whole country, and a lot of people don't know that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and so I'm very fortunate enough to say that because of the Miss America organization, I'm coming out of college completely debt-free with my master's program and plus some. So I might go get a master's and a half or start my doctorate because of these scholarships. And I wouldn't have had that opportunity without participating in this program. And that's just my story, but candidates all around the country in different states also share those same values. And so for this year, I won $12,000 towards my master's degree, which is going to help pay for the rest of it. And like I said, add some to the end of it, whatever I choose to put that money towards, which is really exciting.
That is really exciting. So how can women get involved? I mean, get involved in the organization itself? Yeah.
So our website, missnebraska.org, has a lot of that information. So you actually have to win a local to compete at Miss Nebraska.
Okay.
And we have some coming up. So July 6th is Miss Swedish Days. It is in Holdridge, Nebraska, and that's our first kickoff local. And we'll have girls from all around the state competing for that title of Miss Swedish Days. And so those locals are almost every weekend in July. So if people want more information on how to sign up, they can just go to missnebraska.org.
And what does local mean? Like local in your community? I mean, there's has to be thousands of communities in Nebraska. So what does that?
Yes, good question. So the local pageant is kind of a mini Miss Nebraska. So you compete in the exact same areas of competition: interview, talent, onstage question, and then evening gown, social impact statement, which are the 4 areas that I competed in. And so it's a smaller model at that local level. We'll have candidates from all over Nebraska competing in different cities for different titles. And we just call them local. So it's kind of the first step to the candidates that you see on stage.
And this question, I mean, again, giving these, what's your message to Nebraska?
Yeah, I actually got this question in my interview, which interview is my favorite portion because it's 10 minutes long. You get the judges are drilling you with questions, and I'm like, I'm so prepared for this. Like you get to see me. And my message to Nebraska is I just want women to be authentic and empowered in the way that they were made. Obviously, I'm 6'2", and
you're tall.
I'm very tall, right? And I love when people comment on my height, want to take pictures with me just because I'm a giantess, right? Or whatever they say. But I haven't always had that view of myself. I was 6 feet tall in 8th grade as a 13-year-old. So being literally heads and shoulders taller than other people, that affected how I viewed myself. I kind of went through this identity process. And so now when I tell my story, when I go and speak into schools, it's not only on the Cyber Smarts message on how to stay safe online, but it's really just being authentic. So we can use technology to be authentically you while staying safe. And if I can produce a safer Nebraska, then I've done my job.
Yeah. And also I'll just kind of tag on to, in addition to the safe in Nebraska, is just being you. I mean, you're this beautiful being that God gave you, and regardless of height, weight, whatever is going on in your physical appearance, is just being able to show up and being confident and loving yourself as you are. That's
a big staple too of the Miss America organization. And with the removal of swimsuit last year, that's really where we're going towards. We see women of all shapes and sizes. I'm so encouraged by the other state title holders that I get to compete against. I'm sure we've all creeped on each other's social media of like, who is she? I can't wait to meet her. But I'm seeing people with different hair colors, different body types, different different sizes. Their platforms are all different, and that just goes to show we're really going to have that impact on America in so many different levels.
And that diversity level.
Yes, it's so important. And it's really encouraging, honestly, to have that lens.
Well, Allie, your energy is infectious. I'm so happy that we're able to have this conversation together. And congratulations.
Thank you.
And I mean, good luck to you. in your journey, you know, in life.
Thank you so much. You know, they haven't announced the date for Miss America yet.
Yeah.
All we know is it's going to be on NBC. So
Okay.
as soon as they do, I'm sure we will blast it out on social
Yeah.
media channels. So that'll be the next step for me.
All right, awesome. Thank you again, Allie, for
Thanks so
joining me.
much.
You're welcome. And we will be right back. Well, welcome back. I'm here with two amazing guests, Lee Legenhausen and Kirby. Thank you both for being with me today.
Well, we're glad to be here, and thank you for having us.
So, Lee, you are founder of Pets in Omaha. What year is this? 5, 6, 7?
Going on to almost 6 years
Okay,
now.
almost 6 years. But we're here specifically to talk about Pick a Pooch, which is in its 5th year.
Yes.
And what a great event this is. So coming up in July, tell us all about it.
Well, July 20th and 21st, a 2-day event at the Ralston Arena. We have a lot of vendors there. We're up to about 110 right now, and we'll have somewhere between 20 and 25 rescue groups interspersed throughout.
Okay.
I always tell people, at first they go, well, why would we want to come to a dog show? Well, it's not really a dog show.
It's not a dog show. I've been to it many times. It's not a dog show.
It's more like a home show with a lot of adoptable animals
Yeah.
interspersed, and people can bring their own pets on a leash.
Right.
And so, yeah, it's just a fun event. Where are you going?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Yeah. Let's talk about, so we'll keep talking about the event, but let's just talk about Kirby for a minute.
Well,
Tell us about Kirby.
Kirby's now 14 years old.
I know. Yeah.
If it wasn't for Kirby, there would be no Pick a Pooch, and there would be no Pets in Omaha, I
Really?
believe.
And why is that?
Well,
He inspired you?
he inspired me. Facebook inspired me a little bit because
Yeah.
I would see all the people with their pups and kittens and all that stuff, and I just thought, you know, if there was just one spot for anything pets in the area,
Yeah.
that would be cool, because I was looking up for something and there just wasn't anything like that. And I'd seen something on TV, a commercial or something, and I thought, well, he'd like that.
Yeah.
And I can't even remember what the product was. But I tried to Google, you know, and there just wasn't anything there. So if it hadn't been for him, I just don't think
Right.
it would have happened.
Right. Well, Kirby, thank you for inspiring. First of all, Pets in Omaha is a website, a web portal, great articles, great pet resources, lots of information about pet rescue groups for people either wanting to donate to the pet rescue groups or adopt a certain breed of pet.
Yeah, that was our main goal, was to get information to pet owners and people looking for pets, and to help out these rescues and shelter groups as
Yeah.
much as we could. And now with the Pick a Pooch, you know, we give them a very good platform to be seen
Yeah.
over a 2-day event. And I get probably 5 to 6 calls a week or messages. Sometimes they don't know what we are. They just think that we have all these animals.
Yeah.
I have this one.
Yeah.
And so then I get them to the right people. But over this last 5 to 6 years, I'm pretty sure we've been instrumental in helping out at least 1,000 animals to get to their forever homes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that feels good.
Yeah, because it's at Ralston Arena, and the dates again are the
July 20th and 21st,
Okay.
a Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 4 both days.
Yeah, and again, so I've been into it several times, and it really, you're able to come in, and there's so many different vendors that just are pet related, that businesses in Omaha that you might not know about that have special, you know, they're either specialty vendors, and then again, all these rescue organizations that you can learn more about. And if you want to, if you're looking to adopt a pet, it's a great way to get to know the organization. I mean, you never walk out of there with an animal.
Correct.
You have to go through all the paperwork and the things that, you know,
Yeah.
establish you as a responsible pet owner, which is so important.
And they do home visits.
Yeah.
I mean, they really check people out
Yeah.
because, you know, they don't want to just hand over an animal and then
Yeah.
find it on Craigslist the next day.
Yeah.
So they're just very thorough.
Yeah.
Because they spend a lot of time and money on these animals.
Right.
Some of them weren't doing very well before they came to the rescue.
Yeah, a lot of times that's the situation for a lot of them. So is there a cost to come to the event?
Nope, it's free
Okay.
to the public through our corporate sponsorships. And like I said, we have probably more businesses set up around the arena that have nothing to do with the animals, but they care about the animals.
Yes.
And so it's probably about 40% animal treats, dog walkers, daycare centers,
Right.
groomers, you name it. Everybody you would expect to be there, and then people are surprised that, oh, this large business is here, another large business is here. You
Because
know.
they support what you're doing
And we have all kinds of, you know, large, small, medium-sized businesses just to be there.
Yeah.
And the good thing for them is we get, you know, we average between 5,000 and 7,000 people over the
Right.
weekend that come through. So it's a good deal for everybody.
All right, so lastly, there are raffle prizes at this event. So let's talk quickly and briefly about those, but that's an important piece.
Our grand prize is a framed piece of almost artwork, but it's a Masters flag signed by Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson, who
Okay.
both won the Masters. And I reserved this a week before the Masters this year.
Okay.
And Tiger had his comeback and won the Masters this year.
Okay.
It was a $3,000 piece with, you know, autographed flag and pictures and
Right.
tickets and all that stuff. So if it was worth $3,000 before the Masters,
Right.
I wonder what it's worth now.
Okay.
And then we have five night stays at several different resorts in Mexico
Okay.
that are worth about $1,500 a piece.
All
So
right.
yeah, lots of prizes and lots of smaller ones too.
Okay. Well, I encourage everybody to come out to Pick a Pooch, July 20th, 21st.
Correct.
Ralston Arena. Find more information on petsinomaha.com. And come out and support just all the great pet organizations in
Yeah.
the community. So, Lee, thank you so much
Oh,
for being
thank you.
And
Thank you.
thank you, Kirby. You're like ready to get the
Are
heck
you
out of
ready
here.
to go?
Yeah. All right. So thank you.
you.
We'll look forward to seeing you there, and we will be right back. Well, thank you everybody for joining me today. I encourage you to like Metro Magazine, all one word, on Facebook. You can learn more about us at spiritofomaha.com. And thank you once again, and we will see you back here next week.